How's it going, everyone? Adam Bongiovanni back for another Thursday OnlineBookClub.org official author interview. Now today I'm here with June 2018 Book of the Month author Belle Ami. She wrote The Girl Who Knew Da Vinci, and we've actually spoken to her back in June, and we're doing a new video today where we ask some fan questions for her. So let's jump right into it. How's it going, everyone? I'm Adam Bongiovanni, back with an OnlineBookClub.org official author interview. Today I'm here with Belle Ami, our June 2018 Book of the Month author of The Girl Who Knew Da Vinci. Now, Belle is the first author we've had on here twice. So, Belle, thanks for joining me not once, but twice. And just as I say that, it cuts out. Belle, can you hear me?
I can now.
Okay. All right. As long as we're good now. But I don't know if you heard. I thanked you for being the first author to ever join us twice. So I appreciate you coming on again.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
Quite an accolade.
Yeah. No, it's definitely up there with like being a best-selling author and all that. So
you got it.
I'm sure they're ranked pretty equally. But we got some fan questions here today that people have been submitting all week, and I've tried to pick the best 8 or so, and we'll try to get them all to you within the next 15 minutes. So I think we should just get started.
Okay.
Alright, so the first one I got was from Instagram user Melanie428, and she actually asked a very broad question, but I kind of like it to start. What inspires you to write?
Well, most of all, it's my love of stories. When an idea comes to me and characters come to life in my mind, I feel compelled to breathe life into them. So it's something I have to do. It's my life. It's what I do.
Yeah. Has that always been with you, the love for stories, or is that something a little bit, is it newer, or is it something that's been with you since you were a young kid?
Oh, I've been writing stories since I'm 6 years old. I wrote and read voraciously every chance I could. But the impetus for becoming serious about my writing was my mother. She's a Holocaust survivor.
Wow.
And her story needed to be told, so that got me started.
That's cool, though, and I feel like growing up with someone who's been through so much and probably inspired you every single day really gives you some real motivation to go out there and do exactly what you want in life. I feel like seeing someone who's grown up or lived through such a traumatic experience allows you to never take anything for granted.
Yep, and she shared all her stories with me since I'm like a small child. She had to, it was her way of washing. I was like her therapist. She got it out by telling me, and I held those stories. And I think it inspired me to write other stories.
For sure. Wow, that's cool though. That's so cool. I can't even imagine like growing up and you probably as a kid hearing such things that some of it probably sounded like a movie or fiction, right? Because it was so different than anything a child could even imagine.
Totally. I can remember just sitting there crying and saying, not understanding how such a thing could happen. And, I didn't have any grandparents, so I kept asking, where are they? Everybody else has them. You have these sisters and brothers. There is no one but you. And as a little kid, I really didn't get it. And later, of course, I understood.
Wow, I can't even imagine going through that as a kid. It's probably such a confusing thing to kind of come to terms with, especially at a young age when most kids don't have to think about anything that serious. So I think this kind of goes into our next question a little bit, and you've talked about your mother and how she inspired you, but Instagram user Pick by C actually asked, what made you want to become an author?
Well, let's see.
I'm assuming your love for stories has, as we touched upon last answer, has something to do with it.
I started writing, as I said, very young, and writing was my life. I didn't pursue it, actually, seriously until a much later age, although I wrote the whole time. I was always writing. And I was always telling stories, and I wrote poetry all throughout my high school years. And after I wrote In the Face of Evil, and it was a finalist for the National Jewish Book Award in young adult literature. I couldn't write another story like that. It took me 2 years, and it was very traumatic and emotional. So after that, I wanted to keep writing. I knew I had the time. I knew I wanted to do this more than anything now and be serious about it. So actually, I read 50 Shades of Grey by chance, and it was like, I said to myself, I can do this. I mean, I know that there's a zillion stories inside of me that can be somewhat, that are in the romance genre, basically. And I started there, and I knew nothing, but the more I learned, I realized that I found out that the romance readers are very accepting. They're willing to take on new authors, much more so than other, it's much harder in other genres. Romance is welcoming, and they also have a lot of conferences around the country and the world, and I started going to them, and they have workshops, and you hone your skills, and you talk to best-selling authors, and you become friends with them, and that really, it inspires you, and you just keep right on, you roll from there, and that's what I did.
That's cool. I never really thought of, like, because you as a reader, I read all these different genres, but you don't really know, like, the ins and outs of, oh, like, this genre is a little more accepting than others. I'm sure like you mentioned, I'm sure there's genres out there that kind of have their authors, and they're so, like, set on them that they don't really want to go out and to find new ones. But it's cool to hear that the romance kind of community is accepting of new authors. I feel like as a reader, if a book is good and the author's talented, like, why would you want to kind of shy away from it? I feel like, if anything, that would make it more fun, because you could have a whole new writing style that's just as awesome as the authors you already enjoy.
Oh, no question, but it's just harder to break in sometimes.
Of course. Oh, I can't even. I'm sure. I'm sure especially in today's world with social media and everyone putting their books out there and having a million ways to get their work out into the world. It's probably it is tougher now than ever.
Absolutely, I think it's very difficult.
For sure. So then we also got a question that kind of lines up with this, and Facebook user Leonard actually asked, he said, when it's all said and done, I guess when your writing career, whether when your writing career is coming to an end or when you're 99 years old, how many total books would you want to put out in the world? And obviously it's tough to put a specific number on it, but is there kind of like you have ideas for maybe 5 more, 20 more, 40 more? Like what are you thinking of when it comes to when it's all said and done, how many books you want to put out there?
Well, I have 2 books coming out in the next couple months.
Awesome.
So I'm very excited about that. That will bring me to 9 books.
Wow.
For a late starter, that's not bad.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
And then I have, from there, I've already committed to 2 more for this year. So I'm hoping to get out 4 books in 2019.
Wow, that's exciting.
I know I have 2 in the bag. 2 more to be written, but I know where I'm going with them. They're a continuation of each other. So I'll just keep on praying I can pull out those pages.
No, you seem like you're on a roll right now, and I always find it so unbelievable with authors how it seems like, for me at least, because I'm like I said, I'm not an author, but to constantly come up with creative material, especially for someone who's writing fiction, it's a lot different, because you're constantly having to create these worlds and put them out into the real world, and get not only put them out, but also have people enjoy them enough to want to read more of your books. So I commend you for doing that. I cannot imagine doing that. I had trouble writing essays in high school, so I don't think writing a full book would ever be something I could take on. But you know what? 9 is unbelievable. I would say 1 book is unbelievable, so 9 is fantastic, and I'm really excited. Yeah. We'll have to have you on the show 4 more times.
This year is like Big 10. Big 10 is the lucky number.
Yes, okay, great. So we'll have you on the show for the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, whatever you want. You could be the first person to come on here 6 times. So we also had another question that kind of goes a little bit against what we've been talking about the whole time about feeling inspired. What do you do, and this, I guess this goes with you writing all these books, what happens when you kind of have writer's block or don't feel inspired? Like, how do you kind of handle and combat that?
Well, to tell you the truth, I'm always inspired, and
I
don't get writer's block.
That's awesome.
When I'm a bit stuck, every now and then, I come to a point where I'm a little stuck. It's not a writer's block. I just keep writing.
Yeah.
Good or bad. I don't care. I put words on the page, and then when I go back and look at it, it all falls together, and I just edit it. So I don't even want writer's block, for me particularly. I mean, someone else may have it, but
That's cool. That's cool.
I refuse. I refuse to have it.
No, that's perfect though, because and I heard people give advice kind of like this before, where it's like, you know what you like, but you don't know what anyone else could like. So let's say you're writing something, right, and you know you love this one chapter, and the next chapter you're not sure about, but you don't know if the whole world's gonna perceive the second chapter as absolutely amazing. So you have to. I really like the advice that you're giving, kind of just keep writing, and I know not everyone can operate like that, but keep going, and because you really don't know what people are gonna enjoy. If it's truly coming from you and you're creating it, I feel like you really can't go wrong.
And then there is that wonderful person called your editor who will call you to challenge you. You are wrong.
Oh my God, I'm sure there's not a book that goes out into this world where you don't get that one person who just has seemingly enough time on their hands to do all of that. I'm sure it's frustrating. I can't imagine.
No, but I meant the editor, your editor who edits your book. You may think it's wonderful, but your editor just needs a little that, you're on the right track.
Hey, I can't, see, I feel like that would be so, like, I feel like, and maybe because I'm not a writer so I don't understand it, but I feel like if I was a writer and I put something out that I absolutely adored, and then my editor was like, nope, that stinks, take it back, I feel like I'd be like, no, I'm not, I can't do that. I can't. I feel like that's probably such a frustrating feeling, but I'm sure the editor, it's like the parents know best, editor knows best.
Yeah, you have to grow a thick skin.
I'm sure, and I'm sure the thick skin also pertains to the online, when people are saying stupid things and will say anything.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Forget it.
I can't imagine.
You don't want to go there.
No.
You know, sometimes you get reviews that just like tear your heart out.
Yep. And I feel like the people who write reviews like that, I'm sure sometimes they actually didn't like the content, but I feel like there's also deeper layers there than them just not liking the book. Like, it's to take someone to dive that deep into something somebody put a lot of time into. I think it says more about the person than the book that they're reviewing.
I agree.
Glad we're on the same page there. And I also don't, I think there's a lot more productive things to do than write a negative review, you know? I feel like go ride a bike. It's just probably more fun in the long run.
As my mom said, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything.
There you go, exactly. Especially if it's not even constructive and it's just rude. It's like, there's nothing comes from this. Okay.
I don't mind constructive criticism.
Yes, exactly. Because well, you're a talented writer, so that makes sense. Like, I feel like because you know that as long as it's helping you get better, it's a positive. But just being rude does nothing. It's like, okay, you really just offered me nothing with this comment.
Exactly.
Yep. Okay, so then I think we're almost done with these questions. Oh, so you touched on your next few books, but when exactly will your next book be released? And that was from Facebook user Pam.
Okay. What was the last part that you said?
She said, when will your next book be released?
Okay. So, in my Tip of the Spear series, the next book is Ransom. It's in edit right now.
Okay.
And it'll be coming back to me. It will probably go up for pre-sale in February.
Oh, great.
And it's scheduled to be released in early April. So that's the third book in that series about my Mossad agent. My super Mossad agent who comes to save the day, and he's doing it again.
Hey.
And in my books, I deal with real things that are happening in the world. Mm-hmm. And in this particular series, I'm dealing with the threat of an electromagnetic pulse.
Wow.
Attack, which is a nuclear bomb that exploded just above not the horizon, but above the atmosphere, and it shuts down. It's not so much that it kills everybody. It shuts down everything, from the military, from computers to cell phones to cars to planes, everything. It just shuts your world down, and it's a real threat. So I did a lot of research on it. So that is coming out in April, and I'm very excited about it because my editor said this is the best one yet.
Wow.
So, yeah, I'm excited. And then I'm just finishing in the Out of Time series, the second book. I'm going to finish it this week.
Wow.
After The Girl Who Knew Da Vinci. In fact, as soon as I hang up, I'm going back to writing. It's called The Girl Who Loved Caravaggio.
Oh, great.
I've changed a little, same characters, but based on good criticism that I received from readers.
Perfect.
I changed things a little bit. I've kind of left out all the sex because they seem to cry a lot about it, so I'm not going to put it in. So I just kind of I don't actually put any sex in it. Okay. So the love story is still there, and the danger is there, and the everything else, the reincarnation and the past lives and the psychic abilities and all the stuff that my heroine has is all there. So I'm really excited, and there's a lot of history because they kept saying they wanted more of the history. So I'm going to give it to them, and then we'll see how it does.
That's really amazing, though.
I'm really excited about it because this series I plan to write at least 10 books.
Wow, that's awesome. Now, see, so we'll be talking to you, I'm sure, over the next few years about all these different releases you got coming. So, Belle, it was amazing talking to you again. I'm really excited for everything you got coming out in 2019. Where can people find you just so they can stay updated to with your next few releases and everything you're doing as an author?
Well, I have a fabulous website, so I'd love people to visit that. www.belleamiauthor.com.
Perfect.
And I'm also with top followers. I'm on BookClub. That's another website thing. And of course, I'm getting tongue-tied on Online Book Club. Of course, I'm on there.
For sure.
Yep, and I love being on there, and I've had great response. I just wish Online Book Club, Scott's going to kill me. I wish Online Book Club reviewers would review more on Amazon and Goodreads. Because so it really, that's what drives
for sure
a book.
Yep, the more reviews,
Amazon, period.
For sure. So if you're watching this and you review the book, copy and paste and put it on Amazon and Goodreads. It'll take 5 minutes.
Take 5 minutes because you just copy your review.
Exactly.
Put on. It's no big deal.
The work is the review. So yeah.
I personally take my reviews because I review books all the time and do them all over the place.
Yes.
So I just review. I can't tell you what it means to an author to get the actual review.
Because the more places you put it, the better, right? Because it's just the more reviews they have on a website, whether it be Amazon, Goodreads, or whatever, it boosts it up on like the algorithm, and that's how that works. So
exactly.
If you're listening and either you haven't reviewed the book, review it and then post on OBC, but then also Amazon and Goodreads. If you reviewed it, copy and paste. It'll take 3 minutes. So Belle, thank you so much. We'll link everything you've got going on in the description, both on here and YouTube. And I'm sure we'll be talking to you next year for the first 3-time author to ever be on our show. So thanks again, and I hope to talk to you in the new year.
Thank you so much, Adam, for giving me this opportunity. You and Scott.
Of course, no problem at all. Well, I'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.
Take care.
Bye-bye. I love talking to Belle because she's so passionate about what she does. You can clearly tell how much she loves writing and how much effort she really puts into it. 4 books in 1 year is unbelievable. Not many authors put out 4 books in a lifetime. So, guys, check them out. Everything will be in the description below. We'll keep interviewing these authors because I'm having so much fun doing it. It seems like we're getting a good response. People seem to enjoy hearing from these amazing minds that we talk to each and every week. So guys, if you enjoyed it, please like the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and I will see you next Thursday.